All right, we are here at Knott's Berry Farm, where it's just a few days away from the kickoff of Knott's Spooky Farm, the family-friendly version of their Halloween haunt. So Knott's is known being the birthplace of Halloween haunts. 45 years ago, they started the very first one, Knott's Scary Farm, that it's grown to be, and that is pretty well known and pretty well documented. We do a lot of stuff with that, but we also know people are interested in Spooky Farm. This is a second year, really, of what they're trying to do with Spooky Farm to make it more family-friendly, and they've kind of said the idea is kind of get the kids associating Halloween with Spooky Farm, and eventually they'll become Scary Farm fans. So with that said, we're going to make our way around the park, show you a few things in anticipation of this weekend, of things you can enjoy as a family at the park as it kicks off. It runs weekends starting September 30th through October 29th, and it also runs on Halloween Day. So first up though, as we're in Camp Snoopy, there'll be a couple things specific for the season. There is The Monsters Are Coming, Charlie Brown, which is a fun little show with the characters, music, and then follows with a photo op for the kids. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what you can expect from that now.
Handsome, can I count on you to count us in?
Halloween's astounding!
Doorbells are ringing.
Trick-or-treating takes its toll. With the Great Pumpkin rising, sometime after midnight, Snoopy, help us keep control.
I'll never learn the time for reliving those moments when the urge just hit me and my feet would start moving. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
All right, next up, and the thing I'm definitely looking most forward to is Grand Sierra Railroad is getting a little Halloween overlay. And this is something for a few years I've been like, this would be the perfect thing to give a little Halloween and or Christmas to. And now the fact that they have had it down for 2 weeks, and they are adding some Halloween spirit to it. So we will see what it all becomes when it opens on the 30th, but definitely something to plan to hit early in the day. In fact, I think this or Log Ride would probably be the first stops, because both are going to be quite busy and quite packed. So get here early and plan on doing them first. All right, so over here we can see progress on their build for Dia de los Muertos celebration, and they're building sets here for a little walkthrough that's going to have educational opportunities, face painting, and other activities and things to see to tie into this fall celebration. All right, made our way over to the Boardwalk, where the Boardwalk Entertainment will be returning for Spooky Farm. It'll be this adjacent part right here at Castle of Chaos. That's a Scary Farm maze. But right next to it, they did a really fun thing last year, making it look kind of like a spooky castle, but very kid-friendly. They had coloring in there. They had different character elements, like little show elements. And then if you've not been to Knott's since the Boardwalk Barbecue has opened, it is the best counter service food in the park for sure. Always fresh and good stuff there. Really nice spot all the way around. So definitely check that out. It was kind of one of the quieter areas. Both the food has been one of the quieter areas in general, despite it being so good. And then this little kind of hidden away part over here, at least the few times that we visited, saw lots of kids though having a good time in there. All right, next up, and this is a big addition for Spooky Farm this year, is the Halloween Hootenanny, the overlay to the Log Ride here. And so this is a pretty big deal, because they've been not wanting to do anything themed with the Log Ride since they put all the money into it with the new animatronics and everything a few years ago, for good reason, fear of, you know, causing harm to a very big investment as they've revitalized the park and put a lot of money and attention into this ride specifically. But now it's been a few years along and they feel ready to do some fun things here and add some entertainment. So this is open for both Scary Farm and Spooky Farm. Difference being, at Scary Farm at night, there are scare actors added in there. But for the daytime event, no scare actors, just fun little scenes to see in there of Halloween. Additionally, it has an original Halloween song that Crazy Kirk, the Hillbillies, put together, which is a pretty big deal, especially for old school fans. May have liked him over at Disney, that followed him over as Billy Hill in the Hillbillies. But yeah, to get an original song, a new version of the ride, very cool thing. And again, this is accessible for the daytime for Spooky Farm or nighttime for Scary Farm. The only difference, at night you've got the actors added in, but either way it's a new Halloween ride. So you've got two Halloween specific rides for the season. All right, we are wrapping up here in Ghost Town, which really is in a lot of ways the heart of the Spooky Farm event. And it's really the heart of the Scary Farm event as well, so it's a good tie in there. But you can see all of the, jack-o'-lanterns, the webs, the various skeletons hanging out, and all sorts of little touches that, again, works really well for daytime and nighttime. One of the things Knott has worked really hard to do this year is make their theming work for both day and night. So they add different lighting, fog, obviously scare actors, and it creates a very different atmosphere for all this at night. But in the daytime, there's nothing at all offensive to families. It's all very friendly, even if it's a day like today where there's not the Spooky Farm event going on. But along Ghost Town streets here, the kids can trick or treat. They'll be given little bags for trick-or-treating, as well as a map that kind of tells you the events for the day when you first come in through the turnstile, and then you'll make your way down here. For those unfamiliar with the Ghost Town streets, these are the Peekins, which is where Scary Farm began, and so fitting that this area all plays into the Spooky Farm area. Originally, the monsters would hide in these Peekins, and then eventually they made their way out of the Peekins onto the streets, and 45 years later, got Scary Farm in all its glory. So that said, though, kids can make their way down the street here. There'll be a number of characters that are all super friendly, but just have a little kind of costume spookiness to them to add to the atmosphere of the event. It should be a fun time. And again, this is all included in the regular price of admission, so there's no additional cost for any of these Spooky Farm activities. We highly recommend a season pass if you don't already have one. The payment plans are ridiculously cheap, and you get tons of value. The Merry Farm event for Christmas is really just one of the best things we see anywhere, if not the best thing we see anywhere for the holidays. It's really fantastic what they put together for that, and it feels very authentic and very warm event as well. So something to consider. The payment plan makes it really affordable. All right, with that said, we are gonna wrap up for our preview of Knott Spooky Farm 2017. Hopefully you enjoy it. Until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.